is the session 0 of the GM practice stuff. We're going to be doing some expectation setting and then going through playing Microscope to set us out with essentially the initial setting that we're going to use and sort of get used to playing with each other. So I'm Tractor Blend. With me is Bexon.
Hello.
Casey Stranger.
Howdy there.
Lafuli.
Hey.
And Odinkill.
Good.
So basically the goal behind what we're doing in general with the GM practice stuff is to essentially create a safe space to practice GMing, to sort of be as self-helpy about this as we can be. The goal is to practice GMing in basically an ideal environment, and we're not really here to learn the people skills portion of it. So the expectation is that when you guys aren't GMing, you guys are going to be engaged and respectful and hopefully useful as a player, and not so much focus on the how do you deal with a player who's a complete jerk.
So what am I doing here?
The second part of this is that this isn't focused on handling how do you handle difficult topics, and so we're going to try and keep everything PG-13.
Once again, what am I doing here?
Challenge mode activated.
Yep, exactly. So what we're going to be doing today is doing the Microscope session. At the end of this, we'll essentially have the world that we're going to be creating our one-shots in as we do the sort of round-robin portion. Each of the one-shots will be a 5e one-shot using the same characters from essentially the session previous. And they'll take about 90 minutes, and then afterwards we'll do a short retrospective on how the person can improve their skills, give them advice and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
All right. So are any of you guys familiar with Microscope?
Yep.
Nope.
I read the little thing you sent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
That's
that
it.
too.
The pitch Google Doc?
PDF.
The PDF?
Yes.
Or
NG.
yeah,
Google Doc.
the Google Doc thing.
All right. Basically, Microscope, for the most part, is a cooperative but not collaborative game. What we're going to be doing, for the most part, is building these periods, events, and scenes. Periods are long blocks of time. You can think of them as multiple years or multiple centuries even. Events are the individual slices of time that make up a period. And scenes specifically answer question posed inside of a event. So if we take the famous soap opera Dallas as a frame of reference, you can have a period, which is two wealthy families vying for control of Texas oil. An event inside that would be that JR hears a noise outside of his office, and when investigating is shot twice by Kristen Shepard. Spoilers. And then the scene would then be asking the question, why did Kristen Shepard shoot JR? In each of the periods, events, and scenes that we're creating, they're either going to be light or dark. They essentially set the general tone of that period or event, whether it's happy or sad, fearful, horrific. When we start out at the beginning, we're going to be doing this collaboratively, and then it transitions to the less collaborative and more cooperative. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm as a group the general theme that we want the world and the history that we're going to create tonight to have. And I had meant to have a list of examples, but I didn't. They could be things like a society discovers space travel for the first time or whatever. Do you guys have big pictures that you want to pitch?
I mean, I always like dragons, but
So pitch me your big picture involving dragons.
so I would say that a big picture involving dragons might look like a society that's fought off dragons and successfully managed, like kind of Skyrim, successfully managed to, fend off the giant dragon fiends finds themselves complacent and now facing the return of giant dragons again. Totally
So-
stealing just a little bit.
So almost like concept art here. Right, I'm down for that.
That
Is that kind of like is that what a big picture is? Was that good?
Yep.
Okay. We don't have to go with that though. Maybe they're mechanized dragons. I don't know.
Okay.
Steampunk Skyrim.
what's that new game coming out with
Okay,
all the
all right.
mechanized dinosaurs?
To be clear,
Let's roll with that actually.
we're
They're
on-
natural dragons, but instead of people, it's robots that overthrew the people. So it's robots versus dragons.
That sounds
Yes.
Sounds awesome.
Okay, but they're like you know, intelligent robots. So they're not just like
Yeah,
you know,
they had like
they have personalities and such.
So artificial
Like
intelligence.
Terminator.
but
robots.
less hive mind, more
Yeah.
society.
Like,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, like yes,
Like WALL-E.
almost, but less less
Oh.
hive mind.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that other robot movie that was like the animated Pixar thing?
Um
No,
that
not
wasn't
WALL-E.
WALL-E?
Oh,
Not Pixar.
DreamWorks?
DreamWorks. Just robots.
There was
Yeah,
like
Yes.
an
the
iRobot?
title was just robots. is
Oh,
what I was
But yeah,
thinking.
that
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, robots.
one more like society
Yeah.
built with robotic people.
They're like people, but just robots. Yeah.
So
Less Matrix.
I'm on the Microscope Notes Google Doc, and I've tried to capture the two ideas in sort of single sentence at the top there. If that sounds about right for what you're looking for, don't say anything. But if I've gotten it totally wrong, let me know.
wait, should I be able to see it?
You should be able to see it.
It's in the Microscope notes, the Google Doc, not the drawing.
Oh. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
So the two that I have right now
Yeah.
are a society that has successfully fought off a draconic menace, becomes complacent against the rise of a new draconic enemy, and humanoid robots overthrow humanity and battle a draconic menace.
Or humanoid robots in between the time of the first dragon attack. So humans fought off the first dragon attack. Robot technology advanced. Then robots overthrew those humans. Now the dragons are back, but instead of the humans that were in those cities, it's robots.
Right, so it'd be like after humans successfully overcome dragons, robots take over and now have to deal with a new dragon problem.
Humanoid robots overthrow humanity and have to battle humanity's ancient menace, the dragons.
Ooh, I like
Perfect. Perfect.
that. Tagline for a book. 10 out of 10 would read.
That's exactly the sort of thing that we're trying to create. Is that one-liner at the top of the back of the book?
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Any other thoughts?
I don't think we can top that.
Yeah.
All right. So I will bold that to signify that that's the one that we're going with. The next part is to create our bookends of history. So this will be the starting period and the ending period that we're going to deal with. These are going to go on the left and right side of that draw.io document. And so this is like this. If we're focused on these robots, the starting period could be something like the actual period where the robots overthrow humanity, and the ending period could be something like the robots defeat the dragons.
Well, if we're going for after the robots have already become like their own society, then I think we might want a little bit further after the initial overthrow, potentially.
It could be that the starting period is the dragons return and it ends with, one of them wiping out the other. It could be dragons
Yeah, there's
wiping out the
gotta-
robots.
True.
Like dragons.
I think
Robots
the
didn't know of the.
moment of the dragons returning would be a good starting point.
Yeah.
So the dragons return to the lands the humans once occupied, and the robots and dragons engage in a final battle.
User
Yes.
joined your channel.
So hello.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Perfect. The last thing that we're going to do here is create the palette. And these are going to be things that each player can add during their turn. What we're going to do is we're going to create things that you definitely want to see, basically things that you don't want banned, and things that you want banned. And we'll go around and sort of round table, basically, I think, in the order that the TeamSpeak is in to make this easy.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. And these things are
Magic.
things that we can discuss. This is still sort of the collaborative portion, so we want everyone to be happy with this. And so the things that we're adding here are things like magic, things like werewolves, things like aliens. So you can say that yes, I want aliens to come up in this at some point, or you can say no, I don't want to see aliens at all in the stuff that we're doing.
Okay, thank you.
So I am going to start off by saying yes to were creatures.
Were dragons. Oh god.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome and terrifying.
Best day ever.
So then it would move on to you, Bex.
Okay. I would like to see a blending of science and magic. Has anybody read like Gotrek and Felix, Warhammer kind of stuff? Not 40K, the Warhammer.
I'm familiar
fantasy
with it,
stuff.
but I haven't read any of it.
Yeah, I
Right.
haven't,
Yeah.
but I understand the idea of blend science and magic.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like magic missiles, but it's more like mystical science technology kind of stuff. I think
Like
that works better.
Atlantis?
Yeah,
Question mark.
yeah, kind of like that. So it's more like, think like Stargate kind of stuff. Going full nerd here. I don't know if
Technology that
anybody's following
can't
with me.
necessarily be
Well, we are doing it.
explained, so it's essentially magic.
Yeah, yeah. So it's got like a kind of magical element to it. I think I don't know. I think it would fit better. World.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'm done.
Casey?
I guess I'll say yes to high-speed hover vehicles.
It's gonna be
Pod
awesome.
racers.
Magic pod racing. Amazing.
Lafuli?
Give me a second. I mean, you can skip me, and I'll come back to you once I actually have something. I mean, you can do Odin and then do me.
Okay. Odin?
So, can I do a yes or a no, or do I have to do a yes right now?
You can do yes or no.
I don't want to see humans at all.
I can be down.
So do you not specifically want to see humans, or like elves and dwarves and that sort of thing, okay? Or do you not want to see any of the sort of humanoid traditional fantasy races?
Let's do traditional fantasy races, like completely. No humanoid. Other than the robots themselves.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Can we have robot versions of other races?
I was
Yes.
just thinking that. Yeah, like
Yes.
the robots then take on the persona of like the humanoid race that they overcome. That's a fascinating idea.
There could be interesting, like, robot politics along with that, too.
Oh, I like it.
Because, like, if different robots conquer different races, like, all the robots are not going to be the same, and they're not going to want the same things.
Picturing
That's a
a
good point.
robotic dwarf with a automatic hammer as a hand.
You have my hand.
Did you come up with something for the palette, Leffily?
Yes, I did.
Perfect.
Robotic animals. Like, there's no actual animals, just robotic ones. Going off that.
So, do you want
think that could
to ban the traditional animals, or do you want to say that there are mechanical animals?
Let's go with there are mechanical ones.
Okay.
Robotic were creatures.
I was just thinking that.
Beast Wars!
Yes.
Well, actually, since you bring that up, if we're banning all the traditional fantasy, does that include were creatures? And if it does, are all of the were creatures robots?
They may have to be at this point. And going beyond that, I'm going to say that there are robotic undead.
Where human?
Oh God.
So there are Necrons.
Right? Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. Not gonna lie.
All right, Bex.
All right. Well, I would kind of like to see even though no humans exist, there's still kind of like you find writings of theirs, or like there's no humanoid races, so like these robots have taken over their place, but now there's this kind of like black market for human texts and stuff like that.
Text specifically, or the ancient human artifacts generally?
Artifacts in general, yeah. I just think that they could be kind of like, something that seems really mundane, something really, like a regular garden hoe is now an artifact because now you have mechanized versions of it. Something weird like that.
Is there a robot pope?
Robo Pope.
Well, there's the space
I would
pope.
like to.
Yes,
I would
yes,
like
yes, for
to
Robo
see
Pope.
religion. How about that?
Yes to robo religion.
Yes.
Casey.
I'm going to say no laser weapons.
Ooh.
We are using things either more along the lines of traditional fantasy weapons, or if you want to advance it to like sort of early firearms or something like that, that's fine. But
So like no energy
How is
weapons.
there robots yet no?
so like not
missiles.
futuristic weapons, as I guess what I'm
Not
saying.
futuristic, but modern. They're robots.
I will leave that to the group.
Yeah. So
They're
there's like
magical robots.
I guess
this-
that is. It's a blend of magic and science. So
Yeah.
Does this mean-
So we can have like magic. You
Okay,
can make
that
the
makes-
magical equivalent of a laser, but you can't have a laser pistol.
Does this mean that I can say yes to railguns? I mean, magical
Oh my God.
railguns.
magical
Although they
railguns.
are-
Yes, please.
Magical railguns.
So yes.
I don't know how the dragons are ever going to compete.
so I'm gonna rephrase that no energy or the no laser weapons to no science-based energy weapons. Does that sort
Looks
of
good. Yeah.
or do you want more of that no sort of post 18th century weapon sort of thing in there?
I will. Like I said, I'll leave that for the group, but nothing too futuristic.
Okay.
Yeah, because like they had, thinking back to like Warhammer, they have like acid
Magic
bomb
gunners,
kind
yeah.
of style like weaponry.
Well, the Skaven
That's kind of
especially,
magical. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
like the Jezzails and the shit like that.
Yeah, but it's not like science based, like you said. It's not like a ray gun. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. That's how I do.
All right, Odin.
Can we have like a dragon council? Like the dragons themselves are organized and have hierarchy and everything.
Oh, I like that.
Dragon politics to go along with our robot
Dragon politics with our robo-religion.
Well, Robo-Religion hasn't been posited yet.
Oh yeah, no one said that.
thought we
I
did say that.
Actually, I did actually say that.
Oh yeah, we completely skipped over you. Oh.
Well, he's
Whoops.
doing that on purpose because I may or may not be able to interact at any given point in this stream. So
That's absolutely what I did, but I will bite the bullet and do that for mine.
Didn't we miss Kate? Oh, no, never mind, never mind. I'm blind. Go on.
Bex?
Thinking really hard because now it's getting to the point where like I actually have to think about it. I only have like a general concept. I haven't really thought it through yet, so maybe you guys can help me.
That's fine.
At this point, it seems really heavily balanced towards like the robots are obviously like advanced and well, well armed.
Mm-hmm.
So like I need in my way, like in my brain, some way for the dragons to even be able to contend, to be a threat.
From
And,
my
like, I have a
perspective,
swipe.
you can either like give them essentially some sort of weapons or advantage, or you could pit the robots against each other and basically say that none of the robot factions. There are a bunch of unaligned robot factions.
Robo Civil War.
Yeah, Robo Civil War.
something
I mean,
something
we
else.
Can, we can just have the
something else that I would.
railguns.
Something else that I would
Dragons might have
say
the
is
magical
possible
railguns.
is that the robots may not have fully recovered from their takeover of the humans / fantasy races.
So like these weapons exist, but they might be more rare and hard to get a hold
Yeah, they're
of.
rare.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that a lot.
exactly.
Okay, yeah.
And also, no one's saying that the dragons can't use the magical tech. Like, no one's saying that the dragons don't have the magical tech.
Magical
Like,
armor.
magical armored fucking dragons flying
Think of a
through the air
magical
with
railgun
giant
on the back of a
railguns.
dragon. Yeah, like a dragon with a railgun is terrifying.
Like,
Sounds awesome.
like
Yes.
the dragons would be like the F-14s versus like the robots on the ground, and it's like, oh shit.
So, would it be fair to say that these aether weapons are scarce?
Yeah.
Perfect. Casey?
I was racking my brain. Okay, I guess I will say that the dragons also have underlings, that are, like, small humanoids. Like, I mean, almost think kobolds, but they can be more than just kobolds.
So,
And I'm thinking not robo, they're
Okay.
biological.
So like the last biological
Like
creatures who can't really withstand the robotic uprising then go towards the dragons for safety.
or
kind
the
of thing.
dragons are the force of nature fighting against mechanization of the world.
Ooh. Large
Something
literary
like that.
topics.
the dragons have underlings like kobolds fighting against the mechanization of the world.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Lovely.
Space travel. Yes.
Odin.
Give me a minute.
Um,
Been
Try
tossing
some
so many.
nose.
I know it's
I
getting
know.
to
I'm
the
trying to
point where
think
it's
of
hard.
some no's. That's what I.
Okay, actually, alright. This could be phrased as a no or a yes, but can I say that the means of space travel are controlled by the dragons?
yeah. That's
No
how the
robotic
dragons
space
got.
travel?
That's how the dragons got back. They're space dragons.
Oh, they
Oh
flood
my
the planet.
God.
Space
Space.
dragons!
This just
My
keeps
God.
getting better each time somebody says something.
But rather than like a full-blown spacefaring society, they could be like a crash land kind of thing.
I mean, maybe they
so
have,
they're
like,
not
a
super
Stargate or two.
powerful. So they're not
That-
super ridiculously powerful like alien invaders.
That kind of how it works in the Marvel universe with Fing Fang Foom,
I mean,
Space
what if,
Dragon.
I mean, like, as a no, what if we said something like, you can't space travel anywhere, it's like point to point.
So it's like
only through
Stargates.
wormholes. Yeah.
Something like that.
So maybe the dragons have access to gate technology, and that's how they
Or,
travel.
that's also similar to how it works like in Marvel with like Thor, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
now, Lefueli, this is your idea, so don't let me talk over you.
Oh, this keeps getting better.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it started with me just yelling space travel, so.
So the dragons have stargates? Is that where we ended with that? Or was there
Yes.
something else? All right.
Yeah, I think that's where I draw the line.
Plot twist.
But they're
actually
only
a fool.
operated. But they're only able to be operated by dragons, except under possibly some circumstances.
I mean, they could be operated by the robots too. They just
Yeah, I mean,
You
what
know,
if we just
have
said the
access
dragons
to
had
them.
control over them?
yeah.
A Stargate on the planet, and the dragon has the control.
Good.
Dragons have control over it.
Yeah, dragons just happen to be in between the stargates and the robots, so you know.
All right. Odin?
I'm still trying to think of a no. Like, it's so hard to toss no's in here because
You have like a general idea of something that you don't think would fit.
that's the thing. Is because we already have Robo-Ligion. Like, I want to say a no is like no.
You could say like there is religion, but there are no real gods. So it's like it'd be more like the religions of mythology. Like that could be a no.
Or they worship, you know,
Or
people.
science, or it's like a scientific religion, like robots, or like an emperor kind of thing, or a pope. They worship a single larger robot.
I'll go back to Mass Effect, where the Geth sort of worship the Reapers, rather.
That could be cool. Because then you don't have to worry about like divine blessings or
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
So no divine magic could be a no.
Yeah, I got that works. There we go.
That's a good idea.
Like no divine magic or like no divine
Divine
direct interaction?
presence.
Let's say for no like divine or unholy magics kind of thing, like no holy or unholy. Oh,
What if we said that in this world the equivalent of these sort of magics, so instead of being derived from a god, it is derived from the spirits of the humanoids who were killed by the robots?
But I think
That could be
I
interesting.
think the no. I mean, that could be a thing. But I thought the no was more heading towards there is no divine presence. Like there's a religion, but there's nothing really backing it up.
Right,
I could
but
be
we
wrong.
also have undead robots.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
that's the
So
Well, that's why I was sort of asking about the no direct divine interaction sort of thing. So you don't have gods interacting with the world. You don't have avatars, that sort of thing. But
yeah. Okay, let's back it up to that then. Just
That way-
no divine presence.
that way necromancy is based more on like the quote unquote scientific principles behind it as opposed to
Yeah, it's
Like an
Dr.
unholy magic
Frankenstein as
spirit.
opposed to it's more Dr. Frankenstein, less like voodoo
Dracula?
zombies.
no,
yeah.
voodoo's a better word. Yeah. That's a great idea. I like that. Also, really good point. Your turn, Tractor.
yeah, it is. I had thought of something and now I've forgotten it.
Do you want us to replay the conversation? Would that help you retrace your
No, I
mental
think I'm
footsteps?
good. Oh, it was about having the robots fighting against each other.
Robo Civil War.
I want more sides than that, but yeah, essentially.
Civil War doesn't need to be two-sided.
So what are your thoughts, Tractor?
Like several robot factions are fighting against each other.
For what?
Supremacy
Or
over the
what?
This is
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
gasoline.
Yeah, for control over the lands. I guess for control of the natural resources to manufacture additional
Parts.
robots, I guess.
Yeah, here's the question, I guess, an interesting question. If the robot uprising, I'm assuming, was probably like a joint effort, like all robots, no matter where they worked, had to rise up to overwhelm all of humanoids, right? So why would they be fighting now?
Because now they want different things. Now that
Resources.
they've got their
Yes.
freedom.
Yeah.
Now that they're in
something
control,
that I
they
would-
find themselves that they're exactly like humans.
Is,
Yes.
something
oh,
else,
here's the question: is there robo-sex?
We
This is
haven't ruled it out
PG-13.
yet,
I think that's
but
PG-13.
also.
no.
I just walked under something. Something I would say is that it's not necessarily all the robots aren't necessarily made the same. They could have been made by different races, and then overthrew the other races themselves, or with help from other ones. But they're not all the same, so they
Right.
could want different things.
I guess it was the question for me was like, if they all want the same natural resource, but they're all different, like why is that? Like if they're all different, would they necessarily all like what is one thing that all of them have in common that they would all need that would drive them to war with each other?
Well, space, as in like land, that sort of
Like
thing.
land?
Like-
space.
Mhm.
Yeah, land. Even just the natural resources
or even
to
power, or even power,
Power.
like power over the Stargate, for example,
Well, the dragons have that,
or
right?
distrust.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at this point, but not necessarily in history.
It's like I think that essentially having them trying to vie for power and supremacy, and not
That's
necessarily
kinda my
trusting not necessarily trusting the other factions.
Okay, I like that.
Like sort of like the traditional fantasy races do with each other.
Right, like eventually got to the point where they were safe, so they started creating enemies amongst themselves.
Seeing as the dragons haven't been an issue, and then now someone
that's a good
reactivated
way
the
to say that.
Stargate
Yeah.
or something like that.
Isn't there
and,
always a
Thank you.
quote that that like we always need an enemy or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's kind of where my brain's going with that.
Let's see.
I like that idea a lot.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just realized what this is. It's Robot Independence Day.
Yeah.
We need
It
a
is.
robot Will Smith character then. I vote laugh.
Oh my god!
Yes.
And yes, someone put Robot Will Smith.
Well,
I
you have
vote
to
no for that.
define a character for him.
Whose turn is it my turn again?
Yeah, because Tractor just did Robot Civil War thing.
Okay. I'm gonna think of a no. I would. Okay, this might sound a little weird, but what's it called? Oh crap! Not min-maxing, but like, I kind of like the idea that like robots were kind of in some ways bred for like one purpose initially, and like now they're starting to branch.
Specialization.
Yeah, and so now they're starting to branch into other things.
So
So,
like no generalist robots.
no, my thing is more like when creating a robot character, I think it should be like more specifically focused and not like like the multi-classing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Less of that and more focused on like what that robot's quote unquote intended purpose was.
So no general.
Yeah,
Role
yeah,
specialization.
essentially, yeah. So like, you have a robot that was created for mining a specific resource. So like that robot's not going to be like, I don't know, a farming robot. Do you know what I'm saying? So like their skills and like what things they're good at and
There's
they
a
kind of
definite
fall from
class
that.
system.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
So
Like
the
I said,
robots
I'm
have
bad with the I need to talk it out. Yeah.
Well, it's hard to put these into no's because we could easily put that into yes, because you could say yes, have a hard robotic class system.
Yeah, let's do that then. a
We
true
could do
yes.
that.
But I
It is
think she
kind of in
also
a
wants
no.
to like focus on no like dual class.
Yeah,
in
so that's
characters.
the more important. Like
Well, if it goes into the yes and sort of like there is a class system, you can then still have people creating more general robots. If it's in the no column where it's like there is no generalization, then that sort of takes that part out.
I
So
think
it depends on your intent.
I kind of want it in the no, I guess, just because I feel
Yeah,
like it'll make it makes it more thoughtful, the process you put into like you have to pick one, and like that I don't know, I think it makes the weight of that decision a little bit more important. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that in the no column. Sorry if you
Alright.
guys like dual classing.
Casey?
Okay, I will say yes to ability to interact with spirits of dead humanoids.
That kind of go along with like the black market or humanoid artifact kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Like maybe they found a technology to access mind of the human who
Spirits.
created or used the object.
Like if you wanted to go further, you could go with like the spirits of dead humans or humanoids are bound to ancient artifacts.
And that's how they found out about necromancy and stuff.
Okay, yeah. I
Just
like
a
that.
thought.
So
I don't know.
I mean, so I'm thinking like in the context of something like 5e, because we said that there's no like direct divine interaction. Instead, I'm thinking of something where like you're interacting with like a spirit in an ancient human or other artifact, and drawing.
Rather than the
Magic
artifact
from
can be
that.
your focus.
Sort of like holocrons.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking of. All right. Lafley?
Well, let's go with yes to Robot Navy. I'm really feeling that right now.
Also says that there are large bodies of water and or rivers or that sort of thing.
Yes.
Odin?
Do a yes for sea dragons.
Can they fly like in the air or no?
Let's have them be restricted to water.
Yeah, now are they already on the world, or are they in the same faction as the other dragons?
Same faction as the other dragons.
Okay.
All right, so how are you guys feeling about this so far?
I'm excited.
Do you guys think this is a good stopping point for this palette?
Yeah,
Putting too
I
much
did want
more
to
on
suggest
here.
one more thing that sort of occurred to me. And feel free to shoot it down. But I was thinking no lizards that are native to the world.
Okay,
I like that.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, yeah. So, like, the
But
dragons initially came to, like, invade. Were
No native
turned down,
draconics.
and then they came back. Is that kind of what you're talking about, or
Something like that.
just thought? I like it.
Well, I was specifically thinking
It
lizards.
makes the dragons completely alien.
Yep.
As
Makes all
opposed to
kinds
a
of draconic
recognizable-
creatures / lizards are into the planet completely.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So with that, our palette, this is now where the collaborative portion of this game stops. From here on, for the rest of the night, it's going to be cooperative rather than collaborative. All of the things that you're thinking, you want to keep them close to your chest. You're not going to negotiate with people. You're not going to talk as a group, except maybe to decide the tone of a scene. or decide the tone after a scene, rather. You're not going to ask for suggestions. You're not going to give suggestions. And you're going to create boldly. Don't worry about destroying someone's essentially child here. If they really want to continue to build on it, because of the way that the timeline works, they can go back to before you destroyed it and continue to build on it. So with that, Silent and Asmo, I'm going to ask you guys to not contribute to the rest of this, at least until we get to the end.
Sure, of course.
So the first thing that we're going to do is that each of us is going to create either a period or event. I guess I also have to move the bookends to the draw.io. Basically, everything else that we're going to do is going to be on the draw.io sheet. Oh, and I guess we needed to have decided whether the our bookends were light or dark in theme.
The one was right before the dragons came, correct?
Yes, that was before.
That's probably a light event. And the battle's most likely a dark event. At least, that's what makes sense to me. But
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Okay. So can you all see the draw.io and the two events that I've added at the essentially the left and the right?
Although I will say that is interesting, coloring the first one as a light event, because it sort of implies that the robots might be reacting with like curiosity or something instead of like terror. You know what I mean?
well, the initial one was like robots overthrow humanity. So like I think it's kind of a dual one. So like
Oh, if you look at that's not what we have on the draw.io right now.
sorry,
Is that what we should have?
No, we went with the dragons return to the lands that the humans once occupied.
Oh, my bad. That might not be a light thing.
Alright.
Never mind. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not really all that dark thing either. I mean, they just come back, or well, I think crash land, or what's the...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying that I thought it had to be dark. I was just saying that it's interesting because, like, you know, it's one of those, like, oh, what's happening kind of things, rather than a, oh, we are here to kill you
Yeah,
kind of
because
thing.
Dragons re-fell through the Stargate.
Yeah.
I don't think either dragons nor the robots really know what the fuck is going on. So, you know.
Could be either. Yeah. I like the light idea though.
Okay, so then we'll leave it as light. So in the top right in that blue box, there's the essentially landscape and portrait ones. The portrait box represents a period. The landscape one represents an event. If you control drag the stuff up there, you should be able to make a copy of it and just drop it wherever it goes.
Oh wait, control.
Yeah.
That's a good away.
The play in Microscope, nothing has a specific time or order. Or it only has an order. It doesn't have like a specific time. So you can add as many things as you want between two other things. So if you want to put something between two things that sound like they occur like back to back, feel free to do it. That's the way this goes. So each of us is going to create a period or event. I am going to create a event myself, which is going to be that in the final battle, the robots discover the Stargate. And it'll be a light event. So, Bex.
Okay. Which one's the question? Oh, that's a scene. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to do... And... Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I need to look at the difference between period and event again.
So a period gets placed between two periods, essentially. An event gets placed inside of a period, and a scene gets placed inside of an event. The periods are long spans of time. You would think of them like the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, that sort of thing, where events are the specific portions that make up that time period. like the invention of the mechanical loom, the whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna try this. Can I type in this?
You should be able to double click on it, and you
Oh,
should be
there
able to
we
just
go.
replace the text that's there.
What I'm looking for. Um. What's the word I'm looking for? Where you're like. That makes sense. Can you see that?
I think you need to. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Dragon minions are planted in robotic politics.
Yeah, so like their minions are placed into the politics of the robots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, Casey.
All right. Let's go with around here. Or actually, gonna go with that.
Dragons launch a surprise naval attack against the robots.
So it's Dragon Pearl Harbor.
All right, Athlete.
Yeah, no, give me a second to
Not a problem.
No dying.
add something. Okay. Robots discover dragons. You know, oh well.
Perfect.
Oh, by the way, does mine qualify as a period, or should it be under something?
I mean, that just means that there are, I guess, like an entire naval campaign. Like there are several events that make up that.
Okay.
Like it basically depends on. Like, it's all very subjective. Like because
Yeah, what
none
if
of
I change it to this?
Well, I mean, that can be dragons launch surprise naval attack, and then there can be an event of
yeah
Dragon Pearl Harbor.
I'll just reword it a little bit.
yeah that's fine. So Odin.
Stole my idea with that naval. Surprise! I totally was gonna do something along the same lines.
Oh, okay.
Me too, actually. So I just went robots discover dragons. Some creative like that.
I decided I don't want to do.
The Robo-Pope declares dragons to be evil and the enemy of robots.
Is that dark?
Yes.
How do I make it dark?
If you click on it on the right, there's a like
Okay.
style-y pane thing. Yeah, perfect.
I feel like that makes a good point, seeing as the dragon minions are later added into politics.
Okay, so with that, we've gone around once. So now we're going to start really the normal method of play, which is basically going to be like what we did. The person who starts is going to be the lens, and what they're going to do is declare a focus. And so when we go around and we create periods, events, and scenes, all of them have to relate to that focus. So, for example, the focus could be the dragon naval campaign against the robots. And so all of the periods, events, and scenes that you add would be related to that and help tell that story. When the lens starts the round table, what they're going to do is they're going to create either one event or two nested events. So they can create, items. So they can create a period event or scene, or they can create a period and event, or create an event and scene. It's going to go around, and then the lens is going to go again to sort of cap it off. And then the person from before creates a legacy, and I'll basically get to that when we get there. So to sort of give this to sort of set an example and not put anyone on the spot, I'll go first as the lens, and I'll declare my focus the dragon. How do I want to put this? The dragon puppeteering of robo-politics. I guess I should have created a thing here. And then I will create a single event here, which will be that a disguised lizard man is installed as the prime minister of a robo nation. Well, so of the robo nation of
Robotopia.
Everything must
Don't use
begin
that.
with Robo.
Yeah, don't use that. That's terrible.
yeah, so robo of
Irelandia.
hydraulic hills.
There we go.
There we go.
Now we're getting creative.
I'm not supposed to talk, but Robo Grease came to mind.
All right. And so then Bex,
Okay.
you can add a period, an event, or a scene relating to the dragon puppeteering of robopolitics. And you can move stuff around if you wanted to put an event before the prime minister is installed, or whatever. All of this stuff is malleable. Well, except the text, I guess. The positions are malleable.
There we go.
Dragons engineer the assassination of the Robo-Pope.
Yeah, I don't really know where it's gonna be, but I'm gonna put it right about there.
So you need to choose what period it's going to go in.
I want it to be. Sorry, that wasn't PG-13. I kind of want it to be right at the beginning of the naval battle of.
So then put that
Dragons.
in the naval battle period.
Oh, I put it at the beginning. I see.
Yep. Perfect.
Oh wait. Okay.
I thought it was a timeline, so I was trying to put it like somewhere in between these
So
periods.
it is a timeline. The periods go left to right, sort of in order, and then inside the periods, things go top to bottom. So our order right now is that robots discover dragons, the Robopope declares dragons to be evil.
Right,
the-
right. I get that. I was just like I thought I could put it in between periods, so it was like at some point in between these two things happening.
No.
But I get what you're saying now. All right.
Casey,
Okay, how do I add a scene?
you're going to use the same cards as the periods.
Okay, gotcha.
And so the scenes, basically, the first thing that you need to do is come up with your question.
Question? Oh, okay. I should
The scenes
refresh
answer.
myself on this.
So the scenes answer a question. What you're going to do is you're going to state the question. You're going to set the stage, basically all of the facts that we already know, and then you're going to choose the characters, either banned characters or actual characters that are required for it, and then all of the players are going to choose characters to play in this scene, and then we're going to go around until and sort of do freeform RP until we have come up with an answer to the question.
I see. Okay. So I wasn't thinking about that correctly. So I'm just gonna add an event for now. I'll add it here. And we will say, how about that?
The leader of Hydraulic Hills leads the nation to previously unknown economic prosperity. Nice. Making it Laughley.
Yes.
The dragon pawns are discovered.
Yeah, I should probably change the color. There we go. Oh, it's a bit darker than everything else. Okay. I'll fix it for you.
Perfect. And Odin.
Right.
Dragons begin to win skirmishes against the robots, causing the robots to become even more desperate. Gotcha. All right. So then to finish this off, I will add a event to the naval campaign that amid the chaos, a lizard pope is elected head of the robo religion. Which takes us to the end of the first round, which means that we now get to select a legacy. And so that will be the job of Odin as the player to the previous player, essentially. What you're going to do is you're going to choose something that happened that you appeared during this that we just created, and you're going to make it a legacy. And what that means is that we are going to put it aside on the Microscope documents. It's like an important event, and then you're going to create a event or dictate a scene that is related to the thing that you choose as a legacy.
Go leader of hydraulic hills nation to unknown economic prosperity.
Okay. And so then you need to create an event or dictate a scene relating to that rise to economic prosperity.
Do we change the color or anything for it, or is it just like...
We can.
I guess I'm just kind of confused what the legacy actually means again.
Yeah.
It's basically something that we that is important.
Deeper into.
You're going to delve deeper into it, and that you're going to create a new event or scene for it.
Okay.
Okay.
But beyond that, it doesn't really have. It doesn't really come up that much.
Okay.
And then where should I put the new event connected to it?
You're going to put it wherever you want. So it could be something later, or it could be something that comes before it. It just needs to be related to that event.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Delete my box.
Well, no, you dragged away the one that said
Oh,
event
I
on
dragged
it,
away
so
the-
I was trying... Yeah, there we go. That's all I was trying to do. I just also failed to hold control, apparently.
Are you still thinking and typing?
I'm typing.
Great.
Guess I can say it while I'm typing. But hydraulic hills discovers a new resource, really unknown to the other robots. Which is pushing forward the economic prosperity. Bad at spelling things.
That's okay. You should get the little red underline, right?
Yeah, but every other word is wrong.
All right. And what period is that going under?
I guess it'd be slightly before. I guess right after the new leader.
But before the dragon ponds are discovered, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Oh no, everything's bad.
Going on. Wait.
Leave.
Okay.
All right, everything is good now. Okay, so that was round one. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good, I guess.
All right. I mean, we'll see what happens when some scenes start to go in. I'm still sort of imagining that. I think once we get one in, the whole process will make a lot more sense.
Yep. Okay. So now the play moves forward. Bex, you are the new lens. So you're going to create a focus, and then you're going to create a item or two nested items.
Okay. I want to focus the dragons begin to win thing.
Okay. So dragons begin to win the war,
And I'm going to make
or like beginning the war, or beginning to win skirmishes.
the win skirmishes, sorry. The 4th period. Okay. I'm going to make, I guess, an event underneath that. I'm not sure if this makes more sense as an event or a period. Oh, also, I forgot to copy. That made more sense as an event or a period.
It can be either. It's really subjective whether things are events or periods. So, however you're feeling.
I'm okay. In that case, I think I'm gonna do this actually.
Perfect. Casey.
Okay. So we're focusing on the guy that Bex just made.
Anything about dragons beginning to win skirmishes against the robots?
Oh, right. Okay.
I want those 2 periods to be like next to each other, but the boxes are big. I understand that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I think. I'm totally just ripping off Independence Day if I do that.
That's fine. Independence Day's a good movie.
Okay, actually, here's what we're going to do. Build this. Do this one.
Dragons raid a cache of human artifacts, acquiring even more magical capabilities.
Ooh.
All right, Lafley.
Hey. Hey. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's definitely light. I don't know what you're talking about.
I was thinking about leaving it light.
I feel like the majority of our things here are dark. Just nothing is good.
Well, I mean, This is a game about a war, so I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
only appropriate.
All right, Odin.
Eh.
Robots begin to use undead hordes to slow down the dragons.
Should that be here? I mean, understanding that it's subjective.
Yeah, that works there too as well.
I mean, wherever you want it, it's yours.
Yep.
I was just making
That's
a
fine.
suggestion.
That's-
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right. Which makes it my turn. Crap. Doot. Okay. I will create a light event, I think. Robo Adventurers. Discover
User disconnected from
clues
your channel.
to a ancient metropolis that draw interest to the region. Oh, I guess that doesn't relate to the skirmishes, though. Shh.
If it makes you feel any better, that was exactly what I was going to put as a period right here.
Okay. So then, Robo Adventurers and Dragons skirmish over in ancient metropolis, drawing interest to the region. Close enough. I guess now it's less
Okay.
light. Nah, it's good. No, it's dark. And I'm also going to put it in this other one. All right. So that makes it Bex. You get the essentially last word here.
User disconnected from your channel.
I guess more second to last word.
It's a very dark campaign.
Greater rifts between robots due to methods of fighting the dragons appear.
I should
Okay.
specify robot factions or robot. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So then it becomes my turn to choose the legacy. I'm going to go with these robots begin to use undead hordes to slow down the dragons. And then what I'm going to create is basically going to tie to these things that are here. Which is that the Robopope declares
Wait, isn't the Robopope assassinated?
The lizard pope.
and now a lizard pope. Yes. Declares what I guess robo necromancy a crime.
Robocy?
It's robomancy. I don't know. I couldn't find one that a good portmanteau that worked. All right, so that brings us to the end of round 2. Still feeling good?
Yeah.
All right. Casey, it's your turn to be the focus, or the lens, rather.
Okay, so I get to make 2 now?
So you can either create a single period event scene, or you can create 2 that are nested. So if you want to create a period and an event, or an event and a scene, you can do that.
Okay.
But first you need to declare what your focus is.
Right. Can my focus be a new thing that I create?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Like you're gonna sort of explain what your focus is before you create it,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Okay, well, actually, here we go. This works. The focus will be this robo-adventurers and dragons skirmish over an ancient metropolis. And what I am going to do with that, actually, is create a new period. Will be this. Whoops. Copy-paste doesn't work. Sad.
What?
It does work. I've been using it.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I just did it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try again, then. Click there.
Double click in the box so that it's typing
Oh,
and then
gotcha. Alright.
A small band of intrepid adventurers, united in mind and purpose, discover a secret entryway to the underground level of the ancient civilization.
Exactly. And I guess we'll do this and say
But many creatures have lived here for some time.
does that work? Do I need to...
Well, I think that you should be a little more explicit so that it
Okay.
makes more sense if the context sort of
Fair
changes
point.
as stuff gets added before and after.
Right, okay. Let me think real
And then
quick.
also sort of phrasing it more like an event than
Yes.
a descriptor.
Good
I
point.
guess we'll actually solve that problem too.
Right, let me think. I'm gonna change it just slightly and put it to how's that?
The dwarvish ghosts that occupy the tavern resist the incursion. Yeah, that's perfect. So Laughably, that makes it your turn. Your move.
Waiting for this. Kind of.
And just as an aside, it looks like we're going to end closer to 8:30, 11:30. So I just want to apologize ahead of time.
No problem.
How dare you keep me up past my bedtime?
Oh, it's already like.
Like my pumpkin hour. Kidding.
You're the second person I've met who uses that phrase.
It's like, I don't know, my family does. Or picked it up, I guess.
I've never used the phrase pumpkin hour, but I
You
have
should.
said
I've
like,
heard that phrase before.
but
You
I'll say
understand the
like I turn
reference?
into a pumpkin at noon or whatever.
Yeah, but
oh,
do you get the
okay.
reference?
Now I get the reference.
It's a Cinderella reference. Ah, Disney.
The entrance collapses, trapping the dragons and robots who already got in.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm already like a good hour and a half past my bedtime, so I might as well.
How are you going to be awake
Keep going.
tomorrow, Leslie?
I don't have work because I'm sick, so
Oh, that's
and
true.
yeah.
I hope
We-
you
we-
feel better.
We appreciate
I'll
having
send
you.
you-
Tomorrow, today.
I'll send you chicken and rice soup via the internet. I made it myself.
I mean,
You wouldn't
it'll
download a
probably
soup.
arrive around the same time as the wrap I sent to Tractor, so I mean.
Yep. I'm so looking forward to that.
Although it should be there soon. It's only like 6 to 10 days, I think.
Oh, good. All right, Odin.
Got one.
Although that's assuming, you know, I got all the info right and someone can actually read my handwriting. You know, all that good shit.
And Customs doesn't steal it for themselves.
Yeah, especially that. Can someone tell me why the only two like liquids I have in my room are tequila and scotch?
Because you're a real man's man.
Okay.
What? Now why did it?
Okay. Hey.
There you go. It's a good answer.
I'll take it.
Dragons and robots band together to defeat the dwarven ghosts and were-rats. Ooh.
Our were creatures in here. Got to pull them in sooner or later.
Good call.
That to me.
Skirmish of an ancient metropolis.
It can't be.
The okay. The Robo Draco Alliance finds or stumbles upon an ancient human super weapon.
Fucking nuke.
And I'll make it dark.
Ooh. So it's like Independence Day, except nukes actually do something.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We haven't actually decided that yet.
That's true.
Bex?
Okay. I think I've got a good one for this. Oh no. Don't resize on me? Okay.
Yeah, if you put stuff off the edge, it should just essentially create a new page.
So could I create a scene?
Yep.
And that's the same as the event?
The period.
Period. Okay, sorry.
So it essentially ends up being a portrait card in the middle of these landscape cards. And so you can decide to either do a regular scene where you'll pose the question and we'll choose characters, or you can choose to dictate the scene if you have an idea of what you think should happen.
Okay, so my question is, will the weapon destroy the robots as well as the dragons due to misuse? And in my mind, do I have to write this? Or
You're so
typing
if you're
this,
gonna
or just literally dictating it?
if you're going to narrate it, you're going to be dictating it.
Okay. Mm,
And then I will basically try to record what I can in text form.
okay. Okay. So, basically the robot, like a robot zealot for the cause, is willing to, like, the weapon is relatively unstable and could potentially wipe out lots of robots as well as the dragons. And the robot zealot is willing to steal the weapon from the band of adventurers and use it regardless of the cost and make it even more powerful. So, yeah. Is that kind of what you were looking for?
Yeah, sorry, I had muted to avoid some of my really loud keyboard. Yes.
Okay.
That's fine. So, the answer to the question is yes. Is that what I was
Yes.
getting? Okay, perfect.
And some of them are willing to use it.
Perfect. Which brings us back to so is this a scene light or dark?
Dark.
Perfect. Okay. Casey,
Okay.
your chance to have the second to last word.
Wait, what's going on? Wait, I thought I started. Oh, I get to go
Yeah.
again?
Yeah,
Okay.
you get to cap it at the end, and then Bex will do the legacy.
Oh, okay,
Wait, what?
gotcha.
Shouldn't it be me doing the legacy?
No, it's the previous person.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just
you
confused
will
for
do
a reason.
Odin's legacy.
Yeah, okay. I was confused for a second.
Okay.
Go on.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Because I forgot that I had to do this. I'm looking at one thing and trying to think. Heck, I'm sorry, I'm really, really blanking right now. Okay, here we go. I will also add a scene, and we'll add it here. Right, and so what I'm thinking for my question is what caused the collapse? I'm going to specify that the collapse isn't just a natural event. Someone purposefully trapped all of these people in there. That work?
Can you fold that into the question? Like for instance, if you went with who instead of what.
Right. Okay. So let's see. What about something like this?
That's more like why did someone choose to collapse the entrance?
Okay.
And then sort of hope that the who comes out of that,
Okay.
or make the who implied rather.
Right. Simple.
Yep, that's fine. Perfect.
Okay.
And so do you want to do a played scene or a dictated scene?
So what happens for the played scene?
So the played scene, after we have the question stated, you'll set the stage, we'll choose characters, and then we'll RP it out. The dictated scene is what Bex did, where she dictated the answer to the question by describing what was going on and what happened.
Okay, well, let's see what happens for the played scene. I'm sorry, it's still a little fuzzy trying to get my hands around the concept of the scenes, but let's try that one out so we can see the other way.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to set the stage. You're going to sort of establish what we already know from history, and where the scene is taking place, and generally what's going on.
Okay. So I'll say that.
Laughfully, can you mute? Your typing is really loud.
Yep, sorry.
Okay. So I will say that there is So there are the ruins of the civilization above ground are where most of the skirmishes are happening, but this group of explorers has several, like a few miles away actually, found the entrance to this tunnel. They're the Robo Explorers, but they were followed by some dragons. And
Laughfully,
so
can you mute?
Okay.
I thought I did, but okay.
All right. So then, after the explorers go down the tunnel, the dragons chase them in. Someone comes along and purposefully collapses the entrance. Is that enough?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to choose... you need to first list who are the required characters and who are the characters that can't be present. You can choose only 2 of each.
Okay.
And so they would be things like you could ban the Robopope, and you say basically the Robopope can't be present for this scene. Or you could say that, well, really it's important that the Robopope was here, and so I'm requiring that one of the players is the Robopope.
Gotcha. Okay. So in that case, I will actually say one of the leaders, one of the required people is the former leader of Hydraulic
Microphone
Hills.
muted.
And another required person is a rogue dragon. So someone who has broken off from the main of the dragon force for whatever reason. And I'll actually ban the Robopope.
Microphone activated.
Can you repeat the dragon one?
Yeah. So the dragon one, it's a rogue dragon. So a dragon who has run away from the main of the dragon force.
Okay.
One question that I have that I don't think we ever specified is what kind of dragons are we dealing with in this? Because these are like full-on Skyrim dragons. How are they fitting in a lower level of a city? Or are they like more...
Well, I was thinking sort of
draconic?
along the lines of when I said that they have, like the dragons have underlings. So there can be like young dragons that are smaller. There can be sort of dragon-esque creatures, besides just like, giant ancient dragons.
So, but I guess are we still like young, smaller dragons? Are we thinking still 4-legged or more wyvern-esque with just legs? Or
Well, I'm thinking there's no reason the tunnel can't be kind of big. Maybe the entrance was hidden in some weird way. That being
Wyvern.
said, probably not like a giant ancient dragon.
yeah,
So is this required character a rogue dragon, or is it one of the rogue dragon minions?
Any of the above. Just
Okay.
should I specify it to be more clear? I can actually say I'll say that it's a young dragon actually. Okay, and we'll ban Robopope, and we will ban. I don't know. Do I have to ban 2?
No, you don't.
Okay, leave it there.
All right. So now we're going to choose characters. The characters are going to be selected in reverse order. So rather than going down the TeamSpeak, we're going to go up. So we'll start with Bex, then loop around to me, and then up to Casey to choose the last character. So, Bex, who do you want to play?
That's That's a really hard question.
You can either choose one of the required characters, or you can create a new character that's there. In this case, we have the Explorer Adventurers, so you can choose to play one of them.
I'll take an Explorer Adventurer.
Okay.
Do I have to specify anything about them, or just?
Not really.
Actually, no. I'm gonna be the dragon. Let's
Okay.
be
Dang it.
honest. Let's be real here.
All right. And I'm going to play the former leader of Hydraulic Hills.
The dead one?
I don't know.
No, we never
Killed him?
specified that he was killed.
Oh no,
we
sorry.
just said he was deposed. That's what I seized on.
Okay, never mind.
Um. Who?
I leave next to pick somebody.
Yeah, Odin.
So since there's only one dragon and then 3 adventurers, including
So the scene that was set was that explorers go down the tunnel and dragons follow.
But
So
there could be another one, right? Like you can make up a.
right, so you can be a second dragon, or
Well,
dragon
it's-
minion. The requirement
dragon
was
with me.
essentially that there was one.
going
dragons
with the
together.
second dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. Internet high five.
All right.
Yeah, it happened. Whatever. Internet high five.
Lafuli,
Yes.
who do you want to play?
I was kind of zoned out, so yeah.
You can easily play one of the explorers or a third dragon.
Or I'll go with
Just
the
like-
dragon.
There's
Yeah.
just one explorer and then a bunch of dragons following him around.
Well, I mean, I did.
Well, I
say
mean,
we should
presumably
play
there can be
dragons.
other characters besides the ones. we
Right,
just
there
chose.
there are
Yeah.
background characters and secondary characters. Like if for some reason we're all dragons except for me, if I were to talk to an explorer, one of you would essentially embody that explorer for the context of that conversation.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So is it me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and say the leader of the explorers, who I will specify to be a mining bot. I think people who chose dragons should choose their color quickly.
Ooh.
Red.
Pink.
Purple. Gotta make it difficult.
Yep.
No boring ass dragons for me. I have to
Yeah,
Google
well,
what purple
yeah.
dragons do. Hold on.
I mean, I'm fairly certain there's some pink dragons, so I mean, I got this.
So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go around in that same order and reveal the character's thoughts. You're not going to necessarily answer the question here, where you're saying that, in this case, I caved in the tunnel, but you can hint at it or hint that you're worried. Like if you think that your character's notices that it's unsteady and thinks that it might fail, or if you're thinking about doing it to keep anyone from following you, whatever. Yeah, but you're not going to necessarily answer the question, but hint at it and reveal your thoughts about this scene as we are going into this tunnel. Starting with Bex.
Gotta think for a second. Uh-oh. I am... Sorry, can you explain what we're doing again? I want to make sure I'm not gonna like give something away.
You're saying what you like. Part of this is sort of giving away what's going on. You're revealing what your character is currently thinking going into the scene, and that could be worries or fears about what's going to happen, what you expect to be doing that sort of thing. And so as the rogue purple dragon leader, it could just be all about hunting your prey. It could be about keeping other people from getting to your prey, whatever.
Okay. I am focused on making sure that the other two dragons with me reach our objective. And okay, now question. Are the rogue dragons ones that are like no longer with the other bigger group of dragons? Like they don't approve the invasion? Or
So I will say, like, well, no, I had one idea when I specified this, but yeah, so basically rogue dragons would mean you are not necessarily acting in the interests of the larger dragon force.
okay. And I am going to do whatever it takes to get a hold of and destroy whatever's down here. Yeah. I don't know if that's as descriptive as you want.
No, that is absolutely perfect.
Okay.
So the leader of Hydraulic Hills, Hydraulic Harry, is nervous about the sounds that are following and echoing as he enters this cave, and more worried about what the tailing dragons will do to him and the team of explorers than necessarily about finding what's down here. Which gives us to Odin.
My first thought is we're chasing enemy robots into this cave and want nothing more than to rip their robotic bodies apart. Make sure that I'm just bloodthirsty as shit for minimal reason. Just like killing things.
Yeah, I'm down for war crimes too. That seems like a good reason. Random robot genocide. That should
Purple
be
and red and
that
pink
should
have
be
the
an
right
event.
idea. Grand robot genocide.
All right, which
yes,
brings us
that's going
to
to be an event.
Casey.
Okay, and then let me ask real quick. Do we have to specify an answer to the question now, or can we leave that undefined?
You're specifically not supposed to answer the question now.
Okay, perfect.
You can hint at it if, as the mining bot, you are intending to do something, like you think that that's going to be the best way to stop them from following you or something like that. But you don't necessarily need to answer it, and you can let it play out.
Okay, so I will say that as a mining bot, I have, like, I actually have no care in the world for the entire war. Like, I'm very oblivious, actually. And I'm just going down here because I found this giant hole and I want to find shiny things in it.
All right, so now we're going to play the scene. From here, we're not going to necessarily do round robin. The goal is that everything that we do is going to move towards answering the question. And we're going to role play what we are doing and what we are thinking to sort of help other people respond from like a meta perspective. But if someone tries to do something to you, you are going to describe the outcome.
Which question are we answering again? I've got lost. Sorry.
Why did someone collapse the entrance to the tunnel?
Okay, I was on the wrong question. That actually explains a lot. Okay.
You're going to describe and shape the world as your character perceives it and as you react to it. So going into this right now, all we really have is the tunnel. If you need like specific stalagmites, stalactites, introduce those, and basically, you know, it's very free form. So do what you need to do, but don't say what someone else's character does or thinks. And then as we're going, if we need secondary characters to have some sort of conversation or whatever, feel free to pick that up.
Okay. I guess I can go ahead and start then, since I'm probably the first one down the tunnel too. So I discovered a small rocky hillside, and after shifting a few rocks around, actually the entire face of the hillside opened up. So seeing a new opportunity, I start trundling down. So remarkably smooth rocky slope that descends into darkness, and I go rolling down, happily and blithely.
Hydraulic Harry will follow with his now trademark hydraulic stamping. Really nervous about this hole that we're entering into. Are you sure this is safe?
No, but seems interesting.
Okay.
Look, you may find something of interest down here. Consider what's on the surface. This probably hasn't been touched in hundreds, maybe even thousands of years.
The ever quest for knowledge, huh?
And possibly other useful things.
Mostly shiny.
But that's mostly what I'm concerned about.
So the Hydraulic Harry will follow, continuing to stomp behind the mining bot into the tunnel.
Bundling down.
Trundling.
So can anybody go next, or is there a specific order?
No, there's
Okay.
no order.
Oh, well,
I turn to us band of rogue dragons and explain that we must go after whatever is hidden here and destroy it before either side can get it, and steal what else is left, and kill anything in our path.
All I
I
care
like the
about.
killing.
Killing. You're talking my language.
I knew this would get them
Yes.
riled up. And so we stealthily, in our dragon style, make our way down.
Oh, I'm not doing stealthily. I'm just. going
Nothing
in.
stealth. I'm flying around breathing fire.
I'm the only one who's being stealthily, but because I'm being stealthily, I assume everybody else is being stealthily.
Oh, I'm just going in.
And is there another entrance into this place, or just the one tunnel? I guess it's only the one, because if it's collapsed, then there's only the one. So I make my way down the stone tunnel, pretending to be stealthy, but I'm making a lot of racket. I mean, I've got big talons, and I'm fairly large, so... Yeah.
We're younger dragons, so we're able to fit into.
Yeah, but I kind
hole
of bump
itself,
up against
but
things.
we're-
I'm not very coordinated.
Agreed.
Hydraulic Harry turns to the mining bot. Did you hear that? Is something following us?
Wait, pause for a moment. I stop and listen. Yup, there's definitely a lot of crashing and fire and other fun stuff happening behind us.
I'm not sure if I'd call that fun.
Fair enough. Would too much of that be upsetting to you?
Well, I'm more concerned about it coming closer.
Okay, fair enough. I don't really want anyone else interrupting my business down here anyway, and I'll plant a few explosive charges against the walls and continue trundling down.
Hydraulic Harry will his optical sensors widen, and he quickly stomps after the mining bot.
I would like to follow behind, unaware of charges, because I don't really pay attention to such things. They're trivial to me,
Agreed.
obviously, because I'm a dragon. And I hear the conversation ahead and turn back to the other two and say, we might be able to do this easier than I thought. I would appreciate it if you didn't kill them immediately. we might have use of them. And I do a dragon toothy smile.
What use could we have for such primitive beings, such small creatures?
Well, these ruins are very old. They may be trapped. What better than to have a robot meat shield?
That's all. We could just kill him.
Agreed.
I mean, we can still like throw the bodies at the traps, and that's gonna achieve the same goal.
I shrug and use my purple dragon manipulation abilities and try to convince them that we need them to at least explain the technology to us so that we may destroy it and not destroy ourselves.
Release a giant fireball just down the hole. Say, well, if they're alive now, well, if they're alive when we get to them, then I guess we'll go with your way.
The giant fireball ignites the very long fuse that I have connected to the explosives.
I'll do an encore to the fireball, so
I follow
got two
after
of
the
them.
fireball, sighing dramatically.
Was that explosion yours?
No, I don't think so. Mine should be
Oh,
more
no.
of a loud crack. That was sort of a whoosh.
I'll go with yes because that sounds good. I'll take it.
Oh no, I think that was Harry asking.
Oh, god damn it. Well, I mean, I'll still take it.
Rubber Miner.
We have excellent hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those two just here. I'll take it.
Okay.
Randomly coming down the...
So with that, I think we have the answer to why someone collapsed the entrance to the tunnel. Basically being accident.
And explosive charges.
Accident and explosive charges.
Yeah.
brilliant.
Accidental murder. I mean, wait.
I'm just still impressed we got past the charges so that the dragons are in the tunnels with the
Well, that's why I
robots.
made the fuses extremely long. The little plot device to get you in there.
All right. So the
Charges and fireballs.
answer I wrote down was robots planted the explosive charges, and the dragons accidentally ignited it trying to snipe at the robots.
Yes.
All right. So that brings us to the end of the scene, and the end then of Casey's turn, which means that it's Bex's chance to create a legacy.
I already did. Didn't I?
No, I don't think so.
I thought I...
No, you had your, you got to take another turn at the end of your turn, but you didn't do the legacy thing.
That's the one where you ask a question, right?
No, that's creating a scene.
I'm very confused.
The legacy, you're going to choose something that was created during this last round of with the focus being robot adventures and dragon skirmish of the ancient metropolises. So you're going to choose one of those things that we added that you think is important enough that we should make a note of it and essentially be able to reference it later. And then based on that legacy, you're going to create another period or event.
Okay. I'm going to... Sorry, I just got confused. Make another period here.
So what are you choosing as the legacy?
Oh, the entrance collapses, trapping the dragons and robots inside.
Okay.
And I'm going to say... I'm actually not going to make a period for that. Be helpful if I could spell. Okay. I don't know where to put this. It's underneath the entrance collapsing one.
Okay. So then it'll go under this scene. Right there.
Thank you.
Did you want to make it light or dark?
Light.
Perfect. They discover much more than they bargained for and need each other to escape the perils of the ancient city. All right.
Is that basically the same as this?
I wasn't thinking of like ghosts. I was thinking more along the lines of like they discover. Maybe I should. Let me refine this. Hold on.
Dwarven ghosts were mentioned up here.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, and actually, now that I look at this, this should be here. And we can specify where to stick all this. I won't dictate that.
Well, it doesn't necessarily matter. Because, I mean, that one just talks about them existing.
Oh, sure. Okay. Bex, do you have a specific idea?
I'm typing right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm making a period. I changed my mind.
Oh, snap.
There we go.
They discover a plot that could bring destruction for all and realize both races may need each other to survive. Ooh.
And that's before the final battle.
Yeah, so apparently
Yeah.
they're going to reconcile and then...
Well, parts could
It
figure out
may
that they
or
need each
may
other
not
to survive,
work
but the major
And they may or may not succeed in convincing their factions or like races to
is
try
there's
to
many
end the plot.
Yeah.
robotic
so
factions can't work together.
Is the legacy still the entrance collapsing, or is it now the banding together?
I was thinking more along the lines of like kind of with the discovery of the ancient human super weapon.
Okay.
Like that's kind of the legacy that I'm looking at. So it's like not just the weapon, but like is there something more to this kind of thing?
Gotcha.
Sorry if that was not very
Nope, that
clear.
works. All right, Lafley.
Yes.
It is your turn to be the lens. So you're going to create the focus that we're going to focus on in this
The
round.
naval campaign.
The naval campaign. And then you can create a period event or scene or 2 nested items.
Okay, well, I'll add it.
Yes. I was hoping that was coming.
Is that light or dark?
I'd say it's dark, and I think I kind of found the actual color for it too. So yeah, I mean it could be light if we're playing dragons, but other than that, yeah, it's dark.
All right. So, Odin.
Okay.
Got it created. Robotic shipping is almost completely halted following the dragon's dominance of the seas.
That sounds intriguing.
No robo shipping. All right. I will create a period, I think. Maybe. The robots attempt to battle to counter the. This is becoming an event. The dragon dominance of the seas using zeppelins.
They're goblins now.
All right. Bex.
Okay. I'm going to make a. Oh crap! I messed up the box. That's okay. Is that a scene, or does it have to be a question?
Yeah, it needs to be a question to be a scene. I mean,
I
that
can think of a
that
question.
as it is right there can be a
An event?
An event, yeah.
I'll make it an event then.
You could make it a scene by saying something like, how... Oh, wait, no, never mind.
How or what, yeah.
Or will. Could will work?
Well, like... Oh, sorry.
Like,
never
will
mind.
they
If I keep talking,
succeed?
it's just my idea instead of yours, so I shouldn't do that.
There we go.
All right, Casey.
Okay. Okay, so... I will say... So how does that work?
I would instead of them put what you're referring
The
to.
pirates? I'm referring to the pirates.
Then I would say accept the pirates, and then you're
Let me see here.
And like accept the pirates themselves, accept goods from the pirates, or
I'm thinking like this.
okay. Do the political leaders of the robots absolve the pirate robots and accept their aid? Okay. And do you want to do a played scene or a dictated scene?
Well, for the sake of time, I think I'll dictate it.
Okay.
So I will say that the scene is basically between some of the exiled leaders of the robots, including Hydraulic Harry.
He's just all over.
I know, he gets around. and then they make contact with the pirate leaders and like a few of their lackeys maybe. And let me think. Actually, so here's what I'll say. The pirates just come in towards the base where the leaders are holed up, and initially the robots like scramble resources to fight them off because they think they're being opportunistic. And there are some very tense moments, but eventually they realize that they're on the same side here. How does that work?
So the answer to the question, do the political leaders absolve the robots, pirate robots, and accept their aid, is yes.
Yes, after some drama.
Yep. Perfect. Which brings us back to Lafuli.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that seems...
Robots develop submarines to fight off the sea dragons lurking underneath. Perfect.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's not what I meant to do. Let me fix that. Yeah. That's
So
good enough.
That's dark.
Oh, I guess it is. I mean, hasn't everything else been dark? So far, anyway.
Well, the stuff
Yeah,
right above it was. It's dark. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I thought it should be dark. We were getting too light for our own good.
All right. So Casey, it's your turn to select a legacy.
All right, I'm gonna say the band of pirate robots. I like
Okay.
them. So that event.
And so then, what period or event are you going to add to build on that?
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I will actually, let's do this.
Or sorry, event or dictated scene.
Right, I'm going to add an event here,
Okay.
which is that actually, wait a minute. Let's actually add it above this guy. Okay, so the dragons release prisoners to try to sow discord among the robot society, including perhaps,
I would just make that explicit.
Okay.
Other than that, yes. Perfect. All right. With that, we're another round done. We'll go through once more to make to let Odin have a chance at being the lens, and then we'll wrap up. Everyone's
Right.
still going? Does anyone
I'm
need
fine.
a chance to use the restroom or anything?
I'm good.
All right.
Good.
Odin, you are
All right.
now the lens. What is your focus?
I'm gonna choose the dragons begin to win skirmishes against robots, causing the robots to become even more desperate.
So you don't necessarily have to choose a period.
Well, that. Okay, with choosing that period.
Okay.
I already have an event that I want to drop in. Area.
Oh shit.
Was this the one you added? Dragons with new railgun technology begin mass robo genocide.
Dragons with railguns is kind of frightening.
Yeah. Becoming more desperate, huh?
Yes. The robo genocide. Let's go, boys.
Okay, I'll create a event. The robo supply lines turn to fast hover vehicles to move goods faster. Well, I guess to that can in a way that can outmaneuver the dragon railguns.
Imagining dragons with railguns is still terrifying.
All right, Bex.
Okay. That's not what I want. Never mind. I changed my mind. Give me a sec. Sorry, I'm just thinking that like the robots with these like hover vehicles remind me a lot of like bootleggers.
Only bootleggers had hover vehicles.
Ah, crap.
All right.
Can the robo bootleggers manage to get away to defeat the railguns to the robot outpost on time. Get a way to defeat them to the robot outpost. Okay, perfect. Is this a played scene or a dictated scene?
For sake of time, dictated.
Okay.
The answer to the question is yes. It is an epic through the city speeder bike race.
Yes.
Full of explosions and cool CGI. And they managed to get the secret plans to the outpost, and it's epic. With music.
Love it.
Awesome.
Who composed the dramatic music?
Myself, actually. No, I'm just kidding. Zimmer.
Perfect.
What's that? Hans Zimmer? There you go. We'll go with
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Which makes it Casey's turn.
All right. So I am going to add an event here.
Mhm.
It will be. How about that?
The superwoman has already been armed and is pointing into the planet. One of the leaders of the Robo Church had a remote detonator.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is that, oh, that's the end of it. Okay. Lafuli?
Oh snap! We got arrows and crap.
Did I do that by accident? I was just scrolling.
Nice.
There we
Good
go.
job.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I was just trying to like zoom out and it just like freaked out on me.
Yeah, it's my turn, right?
correct.
Yay. Um,
The robots start purging their council of possible dragon pawns.
Ooh.
I mean, someone's got to keep up with the dark ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we have a rule that everything has to be capped with dark. So far, we've just got the last one that's not following the rule.
All right, Odin.
I love it. We have robot McCarthyism.
The Dragon Council turns to top military mind to find a new plan of action, seeing the robots' renewed vigor. So is that light or dark?
We'll leave it as light for now. It's
Ooh,
screwing
for
up the
now.
trend.
Ooh.
Oh, we have it. We don't. Well, I guess no. Yeah, it'll stay light because it's not actually killing anything right now. It's one of the
Yes.
few things that isn't killing somebody.
And Lafuli, what would you choose as the legacy?
Of course, it's the robo genocide. What else could it be?
All right. So then you can create an event or dictated scene related to that.
Give me a second. I'm dropping an event. Right, prompt. Yeah, that should be good enough. Yeah, that seems good enough.
Dragons start gathering robots for easier extermination.
Yes, we're going with concentration camps.
Great. All right.
Oh God.
So with that, we've moved to the end of the essentially cycle of everyone going through his lens. So we'll close it off there. How do you guys feel about that?
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. I mean,
So
we
I
started
guess in
with
the end here,
nothing, and
dragons
we
are
wound
evil,
up with
right?
dragons with rail guns and bike chases and
Concentration
dragon
camps and
stargates.
My
genocide.
favorite part, personally.
Barely even touched on the dragon stargates too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my one gift to mankind, and
I mean,
it's just
what,
left there.
what more is there to say? Dragon Stargates. I think that sums it all up.
What were you gonna say,
Yeah, to be
Bex?
honest.
I think that sums it all up. Dragon Stargates. You don't really
Oh.
need anything else other than that.
So
Yeah.
in terms of doing the cycle of one shots, where in this timeline that we've created would you want to do them?
I mean, should we just? So, are we like round robining leading these?
Yeah. So we'll
Should we just like draft points?
So my initial proposal had been that we're going to choose a specific point in time. We'll make 5th edition characters so that everyone has a character, and then who's ever GMing will GM with those characters at that place and time that we've selected.
Sounds
So will
good.
the GM be randomly selected then?
Uh,
Or
no, it would be more more round robin,
okay.
so that you have time to prepare. So that's essentially what I want to get to tell you what I want to go over as we wrap this up is choosing where we're going to focus our energy, figure out who's going to be GMing for session number 1, and figure out when session number 1 is going to be.
Gotcha. Now, are we choosing different points for all of our one shots?
I would choose one place and time, and then we'll essentially flesh that out as we're doing GMing and character building.
Gotcha.
Because we'll need to establish things like cities. Right now, we only have the one city, and so it's
Oh,
very easy for someone to create hamlets,
so,
whatever.
So are we like all designing one character then, and then we're like round robining where like you'll play your character on everybody else's week, and then you GM on your week?
Exactly.
yes.
And so they'll be more episodic. However, we want to do the hooks we can. I've done this sort of thing in the past where like all of the characters are essentially special ops, and so they're more getting orders. But I've also done ones where everyone is like essentially part of a mercenary guild or an adventurers guild, and so it's more doing tasks from that end.
Okay.
I'd say let's go with the naval campaign. That's the one we, you know, managed to get the most crap into.
Yeah.
That's all the underground civilization.
I think those two would be a good start points.
I can be down.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
is there a specific point in the naval campaign? Because the naval campaign seems to be this whole
Oh, we
middle
can't
section
pick
here.
our own for the round robin, or
Yeah, I mean,
Well, who's gonna GM the first one then?
yeah, well, we have to play the same characters for all of them.
but
as
I
well.
mean, well, I mean, we can just like start at the beginning and see how far we manage to get with.
So the idea is not necessarily
we
you're
start, like,
playing
here?
out through these through the events here.
Yeah,
Um,
but like,
What
I
if-
meant is,
Sorry.
yeah, go.
No, I was just gonna say, what if we start like here? Because that could be an interesting point, because we have dragons with railguns, which could be a really interesting monster, I think.
Oh.
We have like this interesting stuff where like all this terrible stuff has happened, but the robots are sort of starting to find a solution. Totally open to other ideas. That's just my little suggestion.
Yeah, that works for me.
Personally, I wanted to do something more, not subterfuge. My brain has officially stopped working. A little more politically oriented. Still actiony, but like politically oriented, so I kind of wanted to do something more along the lines of like the airship battles for resources.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
What we're doing is we're selecting the point in time in which we're doing this. There's nothing stopping the airship battles from coming back up, because at that point in time that Casey was suggesting, we haven't removed the airships haven't been removed.
Okay.
They're more being possibly countered by the Draco railgun thing.
Okay,
but-
I was worried that I'd have to do.
No, not at all.
Although if we wanted a more balanced point, we could put it like back here.
This is just specifically the point in time, and not necessarily what.
The event.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
all of the stuff that came before it is essentially the stuff that is established,
Right.
and all of the stuff that's after it is stuff that's going to happen into the future. And so, if you wanted to start building towards the fast hover vehicles with like prototypes of that and stuff, that's something that you can do.
Okay, well, what if we simply specified then that it is some period after Robot Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, it could be between.
I could
mean,
be down
yeah.
for just this period, the Dragon Skirmishes period as a whole. Or do we have? Yeah, because we could just do one big one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that will include after Pearl Harbor, and if I'm not locked out of doing some more, because I have an idea of what I want to do. So if I'm not locked out of it, then that's totally cool with me.
Yes, and I still have my one idea as I had. You know, that's what I've been driving this thing towards the whole time. Is that one idea?
I'm excited to see what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Prepare to be disappointed.
Oh,
So,
no.
we'll do that then. We'll be in this period of Dragon's Wind skirmishes, causing the robots to become even more desperate.
Okay.
And so it'll more or less be up to the first person, I guess, where in that we are. Basically, if they establish the robo concentration camps, then we're going to be a little later in this. If you get where I'm going with that.
Yep.
So who wants to go first?
Not me.
I mean, if there are no other takers, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Mine needs to be a little bit later to make sense timeline-wise.
Like I don't have a specific idea at this point, so slot me anywhere that people don't particularly want to be, and I'll work with it.
Oh, I can go first. I
You
kind
wanna
of
go
have
first?
an idea.
Okay.
Well, I mean, besides that way, no one actually has any kind of expectations. So I'm,
This is all about practice. You can be.
yeah, I know. That's the reason why I joined this.
All right. So is this time of Wednesdays at 9/6 good for you guys generally?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's any way we could start it like an hour earlier, that would be
I'm good at
fantastic for
8.
me.
Good at 5.
Yeah, I can actually do that too. It's a little
Um,
bit close, but
I can make it work, but basically I'm going to be eating for the first like 15 minutes of it.
what if we just
Unacceptable.
push it back half an hour?
How dare you
Yeah,
try and
half an
stay
hour.
alive?
Yeah, half an hour works too.
Just make it 7:30 instead of 8.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll be fucking dead at work. Although,
Well, and
you know,
and
I mean,
I
it
ideally we
usually
wa-
won't last until this, but
yeah, I would like to keep it the whole thing to about 2 hours. So your session should be about 90 minutes, and then we'll sort of talk about it and hopefully help you improve.
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome.
Is every week good for you guys, or would you prefer every other week?
I can only do every other week because otherwise I'm working morning shifts, and then I'm already at work at this point.
Your work schedule is very bizarre.
Yes, it is. I mean, I start at 6 a.m. So
Well, I mean, also
On
time
morning
Get
is
off.
the other
shifts.
thing.
I get off at 6
Yep.
a.m.
So
Hey, Asmo.
then our next one would be at 7:30 or 8:30, 5:30, which would be 3:30 Eastern European time on
Yes.
the 3rd, which I guess maybe
Yes.
the 4th.
fourth, yes, it's the 4th. Okay, yeah.
All right,
I'll try and figure something out by that. I mean,
sounds good.
like actually cohesive,
Yeah.
a cohesive story. I have a setting in mind, and that's about it.
Good. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll talk about what we want to do for characters. We can just sort of tackle that in the chat. We don't have to do this right now. About how we're going to deal with our robo races in 5th edition and all that.
Okay.
All right.
Is there any sort of map that we're gonna put out, or are we just gonna roll with it?
Well, I mean, at least for me, you're going to see my amazing art skills. I don't know. I'm assuming none of you have seen the
Yeah.
5th Dead
Nice
Friday.
paint skills.
Oh, not even that. I used the Roll20.
As far as like a world map,
That's what I meant.
I would more just sort of establish areas as you need them,
Okay.
and basically leave most of it essentially unexplored / unestablished. And so if for what you're doing you really want a coastline, you can make a coastline. If you need the seas for the naval battle, you can place the seas in relation to other stuff. And we can create like another of these draw.io documents to sort of catalog that, so we don't get too weird about it. But
Yeah, sounds good.
all right.
Actually, that might be really helpful just for the map.
Yeah, I'll create another one and just put it in the same folder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So in the meantime, just make a Robo 5th Ed character.
Yeah, and like I said, we can figure out what we're doing for rules in the Slack chat. All right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because we have to remember we can't have that. They have to be very specific to whatever job we decide on them.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for joining me tonight. I'm sorry we went over. Hopefully we'll do better in the future. Thanks.
We won't, but we'll try.